it's Diana and I'm back with another video today. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you're a new subscriber, hello, hi, welcome, and welcome back to my original subscribers. I'll call you guys the OGs and I won't forget you when I'm famous. That will never happen. I don't want to be. Anyway, so for those who don't know, I am a dental hygiene student and YouTuber, I guess. And most of my videos are based on productivity, day in the life kind of stuff. At least that's just what I'm trying to make. Being productive is like one of my favorite things to do. I've had a few of you ask me how I write my notes for school using my iPad, and a few of my friends as well have been asking me personally since I've convinced them to get the iPad. So originally I was supposed to have another video that came out today, but it just wasn't working out. I needed to add a few more things and take a little bit more time to implement the new routine that my whole video is about. So that one's shelved for now while I work on it for the next week or so, but I expect it to come out soon. And I've been putting off filming this video for how long? I don't know. I don't know why I've been putting it off. I was like, why not? Then I just do it. I didn't think the way I did it was anything special, but I like watching other people do really mundane, boring stuff. And finding out how they do well in school kind of thing. So I thought, why not put my process out into the world? So if you haven't watched any of my other videos, you won't know that I absolutely love my iPad so much. It was worth every single penny and I do not regret buying this. So I have the basic iPad 6th generation. Especially for note-taking, you really don't need anything fancy. If you can afford it, go for the iPad Pro, why not? Otherwise, good old iPad is a good size, works really well, comes with Apple Pencil 1st generation. Buying it secondhand might even be cheaper. I'd just say, if you're teetering between buying it and not, buy it! So I just have a basic case on there. It's a Constellation theme. I'll link it down below. I just got it from Amazon. It was pretty cheap. If you'd like, you can get the case that comes with a keyboard. I believe Apple sells it and it's a little expensive. I don't need the keyboard. Maybe I'll change my mind, but so far I love writing everything. One of the benefits to using an iPad is just the amount of paper that you save. I like writing my notes, especially when I'm just studying. I like repeating stuff over and over and over again. So one of the other benefits of using your iPad for note-taking for school is you save a lot of paper. I used to die a little inside every time I would waste notebooks upon notebooks of just writing things out or rewriting them, just because that's one of my study techniques, is to rewrite stuff over and over again until it's stuck in my head. And also, it's so light that most of the time when I walk out the door, or the first few months that I had this, I always felt like I was missing something because my backpack was never heavy. So I have all my notes right at the palm of my hand. I don't have to worry about bringing this textbook or this binder or making sure I have the right worksheet. It's all on here. Especially with classes all being online. PowerPoints, any worksheets, they're not hand given to us. So I can just import the stuff straight to my iPad, write directly on it, save paper, save printer ink, just save a lot of things. So because I use the iPad for everything, it means all my other school supplies are pretty much useless. I barely use pens, pencils. I've barely opened up my pencil case this semester. I thought about doing a video on school supplies for a dental hygiene program, but I don't use any of it. And all of our projects are online. We're all doing PowerPoint. We're not doing poster board presentations, so we might in the future, but as of right now, I don't need any of that stuff. So I save a lot of money from not buying that kind of stuff. So now onto the actual note-taking part on my iPad for school is my favorite app, and it's GoodNotes. GoodNotes 5 specifically. It costs $10.99 in Canada. I don't know elsewhere it might be cheaper or the same price, but it is, aside again from my iPad itself, the best money I've ever spent. I do everything, literally everything on GoodNotes, my most used app for sure. Some great things about it is it writes exactly like paper. There's filters that you can put on it that make it feel like you're writing on paper. It gives just some little resistance. I'll link those down below. Just some of my favorite things about the app. There's so many, but there's a few that stand out to me the most. So doing split screen is something that I didn't originally have when it first came out, when I first got the iPad, but soon after it did, and oh my god, it was such a lifesaver. Just being able to have your like teacher's PowerPoint presentation slides on one side and then your notes on the other. I prefer to have two split screens with the two exact same slides on it, but one is just for reading and then the other one is just to write, and as you're writing it updates on the original slide there. I like it that way just in case I need to add an extra page in between the slides. I can easily write down notes on there. It also has this option where you can search what you wrote. It recognizes your handwriting, which is like crazy to me. But yeah, if you're unsure of where you left your certain worksheet or document, you can search it into the search bar and easily find it. You also have the ability to drag and drop pictures. So I'll use the lasso tool and just kind of draw around the picture that I want, take a screenshot, and then I can just move it straight over to a set of notes or something like that. Using the lasso tool, I can resize anything, change the coloring of my font. I can also circle what I've written and change it into typed font. Typed font, does that make sense? So the way that I organize my notes for school is I create a folder for the exact program that I'm in. So for example, dental hygiene, I've made a dental hygiene folder, and then within that I made a first semester folder, and then within that I have a folder for each and every class that I'm taking, and then within that I have it labeled by weeks. And it's proven to be really helpful because there'll be someone asking, or I'm curious about what we learned on a certain week, or trying to remember something, and I can be like, oh yeah, that was week 2. I can just go look, week 2 micro, it's all there. So once my folders are there, other than the weeks, I usually add that week by week. I'm lucky enough that my teachers upload all of our documents onto our online portal. I go ahead, just download that, airdrop it straight to my iPad, and then I put it directly into the week folder associated with those worksheets, PowerPoints, so on and so forth. So it's just a good thing to be organized from the beginning, otherwise it can turn into a mess very fast. So with the split screen that I like to use, it means that I actually barely look up at the screen. Usually if I do, it's because I'm bored. But it's easy for me to follow along where the teacher is and just write down my notes. I don't have to look at my computer screen, looking at their computer screen. Oh my god. I just go ahead and write my own notes. And depending on the mood, sometimes my notes can look really pretty. And other times when I'm really tired and I just want to make it through the class, black pen, it is what it is. I can go all out using different colors, making different fonts for titles and stuff like that. But usually it comes down to what I think is worth it. If just quickly jotting down notes and like little keywords there are usually better for me in terms of studying wise. And that'll be for certain classes. Other classes that have a lot of diagrams, I find that using the lasso tool and dragging it over and making my own notes about it helps me memorize it. So it really depends on the class. If I like the class, my notes are nicer. If I don't like the class, I'm just going straight on through. Basic notes, nothing special. But honestly, most of the time, I just like to get my notes done and over with. My schedule is packed crazy. If you haven't seen my Plan My Month with Me video, I'll link it up here for those who haven't seen it. I really need to utilize every single minute that I have very well. Some days I fail, but writing really pretty notes is aesthetically pleasing. It's just doesn't help me, unfortunately. I wish it did. I wish I was better at it, but it just doesn't. So this is something, especially if you're doing prereqs of a certain intense program, or you're in a program and you have the time, whatever, your best bet to figure out what works for you in terms of note taking is trying out different methods and seeing what you like. For you, try it out, see what works for you in terms of note taking, and you'll know when you go back to look at your notes for exams. You'll see if the way that you've been taking notes has worked, has helped you stay more organized, and jogs your memory of when the teacher was talking about it. And if it doesn't do any of that, then you'll know that you need to change something up next semester, next class, next lecture. All in all, whatever way you write your notes, try not to waste too much time on them if note-taking is something that doesn't help you, especially if you're better at learning or memorizing stuff from flashcards or some other method. Use your time wisely. Don't write out notes, just go straight into making those flashcard kind of thing, or better yet, go to Quizlet. So just to recap on how I write my notes using my 6th generation iPad for dental hygiene school, or any type of schooling that I've ever taken using this iPad, is iPad Pencil, GoodNotes, using the split screen option. This is embedded into your iPad. It's not just with GoodNotes. Find the best way to write your own notes. Mine is using the split screen, identical PowerPoints on the same side, and the right side is used for writing notes directly onto the PowerPoint while I read the other side, or if I need to add extra notes at the bottom, I add a page in between the slides and write it out through there. And then, of course, just looking back, depending on my class, depending on what I need to learn, I find the best route of note-taking based off of that. So using lots of images, writing my own notes for that versus just writing my basic notes during class on my PowerPoint and then switching over to flashcards as soon as it's done. That's it for today, you guys. Hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know if you have any questions down below that I didn't hit. It all comes so naturally to me that I don't know what might be foreign to someone who is just starting out using the app or the iPad. Find all the links of anything I ever mentioned down below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.